Hey everybody, it's Rob. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Everyman. What's that? Yeah, I'm trying to do it right now. Yep. Will you just let me? This guy, right? I know. It's okay. Just let me. Anyway, on this episode, we're going to be talking about Jojo Rabbit. So if you guys haven't heard anything about Jojo Rabbit, that intro probably made no sense to you. I actually have been excited about Jojo Rabbit for a while now because some of the great stuff that we heard coming out of the festivals. But a major plot point of the movie is that Jojo, the main character, clearly, has an invisible friend who is in fact Adolf Hitler. Now, that would seem to not make much sense, except for Jojo Rabbit is set in Germany during World War II. So, of course, Jojo, being a German and a member of Hitler Youth, he really wants to be Hitler. He really inspires to be him and really likes him. So having him as an invisible friend makes all the sense in the world. Now, I've been really excited about the movie, but I've been kind of dreading the review. Why? Well, first of all, I got to pronounce the director's name, and I don't think I have said it correctly one time. Anyone has asked me what it is. Jojo Rabbit is based on a book by Christine Lunens, and it is directed by Taika Waititi. I might have actually said it right that time. And you might ask yourself, what kind of guy wants to do an anti-hate satire about Hitler and Germany during World War II? Well, Taika Waititi is the guy who wants to do that. And he takes it a step further because not only does he write the screenplay, not only does he direct the screenplay, but he also plays Hitler, the invisible friend of our buddy Jojo. Now, I gotta say, I was surprised about a couple of things. Number one, I got to see this movie at the Cinerama-dome, which is there on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. It was in the Dome, which is always super exciting. It's always great to go see a movie there. I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there. I've seen a couple of movies there. First Man, I saw there as well. And it's always a great place to see a movie. And it was almost empty. Now, it could have been because it was a Wednesday night. Maybe that's just not a night people go see movies at the Cinerama-dome. But this movie has had so much acclaim around it, I figured every show would be sold out. I was hearing good things about shows over the weekend. A lot of people I know online went to see it, but almost no one I know in real life actually went to see it, and maybe that's where the disconnect is. Maybe I'm in a little bit of a film bubble on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook where I'm only seeing people who really like movies talk about movies. Interesting side note. Working on a new project now with Corey, the other half of the Oh, the Anthem podcast. New episodes of that podcast every Tuesday. But we're working on something new, and one of my critiques of some of his notes were that it kind of makes it seem like he's in a bubble, like he wants to do something just for people who love film. Now, I love to do things for everybody. If you didn't get that from the Everyman Movie review, I like when everybody can enjoy the things that I do. So I'm really pushing for something more center of the road. He really wants to make it this very artistic, film thing. And I just don't think that's the right direction to go. But then I find myself wondering, am I in that same bubble where I'm seeing a lot of people talk about this movie, and in fact, not a lot of people are going out to see it? Sorry about that, guys. I just had an inkling about the sound. I went to check it. Sound was horrible. For those first few minutes, I apologize. I think I must have adjusted the mic a little bit, but should be a lot better now. But Jojo Rabbit. The question is, what is a anti-hate satire? Well, it's set in Nazi Germany, so clearly there's going to be a lot of that white nationalist sentiment. It's been an interesting time period for me because The Watchmen is actually now starting on HBO. If you have a chance to check it out, you absolutely should. The original movie, the comic books are all fantastic, and I just knew I would love the new show on HBO, and I do, except it's put me in a weird position. I'm either going to be cheering for the police who wear masks and basically act without any rules, or I'm going to be cheering for Rorschach's inspired 7th Cavalry with a K who are basically white supremacists. And I'm hoping that something about that's incorrect. Maybe the cops are making them seem like white supremacists and they're not. And that way I can actually cheer for the guys who are shooting cops. Or the cops end up being not as bad as they seem like they are and just kind of hiding their face. It's a very confusing thing for me. I don't like superhero movies and shows that put me in that position. Our Boys was fantastic. Maybe I'll do a review of Our Boys. I really did like that show. Is it a violation of Everyman Movie reviews to do reviews of shows if it's long-form premium shows? I don't know, I'll have to think about that. But Our Boys was not complicated at all. It was very straightforward with what it was. That being said, so Jojo Rabbit is set in Nazi Germany. There is that moment where they say the name of the movie in the movie, which I always find to be a little cheesy, but it's one of those things, right? I got a little chuckle and a cheer from the people in the theater. Probably a lot of people were smoking pot who were there. It's California. What are you going to do? But overall, I think it was an excellent movie. It was a good time at the theater. I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. The story was great. The acting was fantastic. They've only given an Oscar to a kid 19 times since 1929 when they started the Oscars. And Roman Griffith Davis, who plays Jojo, is now in the talk of getting an Oscar for this, which is amazing. Thomasin McKenzie does a fantastic job. Scarlett Johansson does a fantastic job. Taika Waititi, of course, does a fantastic job as Hitler. Sam Rockwell, Alfie Allen, Rebel Wilson, all do really fantastic jobs as Nazis. It's just a weird mental place to be, I think, right now with this movie and with everything that's kind of going on in the world, right? I usually take a little step aside to not do spoilers. I'm not going to do that now because I don't know that there is. I want to encourage you to go see it. Anything I say in a spoiler section will ruin your enjoyment of the movie. And, there are people, like friend of the show, Roberto, who will just watch all the spoilers, and I don't know how we can enjoy it knowing what happens, but this is a different kind of movie where, stuff really comes up on you, and you don't really expect it, and it's hard. It's hard to, jump emotionally from one place to another. Anything that I say that might be a spoiler just really doesn't, it'll ruin the movie. And it won't ruin the movie, oh, you gave away the ending. It'll ruin the movie, I think it takes all the enjoyment out of it. Without those things that I would talk about, and there's not really many of them, then it's just a movie about Nazi Germany, and I don't really want it to be that. So, I think you really have to go see it. And, here's the other thing too. It's a small movie. It started out in the festivals, and it's moving up on screens. It's trying to get more screens. Go see it. We need to support these kind of movies. But, I'll go, the test that I usually ask, the things I usually put to you, that I put to myself, can you take dark satire? Are you a fan of Broken Lizard, Super Trooper guys, Club Dread guys? Can you handle things that are emotionally questionable, just that put you in a weird emotional state where you want to laugh, but you're also kind of icky? It's a complicated movie. It's an emotionally complicated movie. And just when you think you got a grasp on what's happening, it makes a turn and does something different. And then you finally get your bearings on that and back the other way. So I think as far as that's concerned, an excellent job. The runtime is an hour 49, not really long. It's really worthwhile to go out and see it. And there's a bunch of kids and they're super cute and they're in their little Nazi uniforms and you almost forget that for a while. And it's so strange because, they have English accents, they're from Britain, not from Germany. Rebel Wilson does a German accent. Sam Rockwell does a German accent. But for the most part, it's just people with English accents. And that always throws me off about those kind of movies. Taika Waititi also does a German accent, obviously, as Hitler. It's one of those movies that is emotionally complicated, and you don't really know what is going on any given moment. It's all over the place, and you don't know who to cheer for. But it's one of those stories that could just come from anywhere. I could have written this story about a fictional American war and a bunch of kids who are just struggling to survive in it, and the complications of life. How, given the way things are going, we might actually be writing this story in 30 years. Who knows? Ask yourself, do you like art movies? If you don't like art movies, don't go see this. It really is an art movie. You don't like complicated movies? Listen, I'm a huge fan of just going to the movies to enjoy a movie and get some escape. This is more complicated than that. It's going to make you think. It's going to make you feel. Do you not like movies that push boundaries? Broken Lizard guys, that kind of stuff? You're not going to like this. But if you like those complicated movies that are quick moving and a lot of action's happening and it's a little far-fetched, but you don't mind suspending some disbelief here, there, and everywhere, I think you're really going to like this movie. It's just cute. And sometimes you just need a little cuteness in your life. You just need a cute movie to get you through a Wednesday night when you just feel like, I don't have anything to do and I don't feel like doing anything. So let me just go to the movies. Go see it someplace. And, I spent a lot going to see it at the ArcLight at the Cinerama-dome. You don't have to do that. Go see it at a small, intimate theater somewhere, and I think you'll enjoy it just as much as I did on the big screen in the big theater. In fact, it might play better there. It might play better on a small screen in a little intimate place where you can kind of enjoy the inside jokes with your friends. So I'm going to give Jojo Rabbit one big thumb up with the caveat that you really got to know yourself and you got to know the kind of movies you like, because there's a lot in there that I think people wouldn't like, but I gave you those warnings. So, go see it if you think you are the kind of person who would like it. Otherwise, if you never drink coffee, if you don't like coffee, and I offer you coffee and you say yes, don't be surprised when you don't like what I give you. Well, there you have it. Yet another episode of the Everyman Movie Reviews. Thank you guys for joining me. Right at the top here, I want to thank my patrons. I would not be able to do this without you guys. The cameras, the mics, the film, the website, everything. My time, just wanting to stay up late because I feel like I owe people things. That is all thanks to you. And I really couldn't do this without you. I can't say thanks enough. You're my inspiration. Your messages, seeing that you're watching stuff ahead of time, it really inspires me. So thank you for everything that you do. And if you want to be one of my patrons, it's very easy. patreon.com/Robert N. Cheek. That's patreon.com/Robert N. Cheek. For as little as $1 a month, you can join. You get early access to a bunch of stuff. You get to see everything before everyone else. You get special messages. You get things that no one else gets to see. Adventures no one else gets to see. You get your special thanks right here in the videos. You get thanks in the acknowledgments of any of the books that I produce. There's a lot of great things in there. Go check it out. Patreon.com/Robert N. Cheek. Of course, you can find me on all social media at Robert N. Cheek. That's going to be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, everywhere, Robert N. Cheek. These videos and more are available at youtube.com/Rob Cheek. But you're watching that right now, so of course you know. I got a couple of other projects that are in the works. I'm really excited to share with you guys. I shot some of the stuff tonight, right before I did this episode, so that's going to be super exciting. I can't wait to share that with all of you. Don't forget about the website, robertncheek.com, where you can find links to everything that I've done, including the OD Anthem podcast. If you just can't get enough of me, you need more of me, you listen to this podcast, you watch the videos, you're following me on social media, but you need more, odanthem.com/podcast, youtube.com/odanthem. We put out a new episode every Tuesday, talk about news, politics, sports, a little bit of Baltimore, a little bit of Los Angeles, the two places that have my heart. So I am, super excited for you to check out that and what Corey and I talk about each week. You're not going to want to miss it. Since I think I covered all of my bases, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you guys for joining me once again, and looking to do 2 episodes a week from here on out. Let me know if there's some movies that you want to see, you want to hear me review. I'm happy to do that. Do that in the comments below. This episode, of course, is available as a podcast at anchor.fm/Everyman Movie Reviews. Over there, you can also leave a message as a voicemail. And if you do, I'll put it on the episode itself. So you get to be involved in the show in podcast form. That's anchor.fm/Everyman Movie Reviews. So it's really late. I want to go and get some sleep. Thank you guys for staying up late with me. Make sure you head out to the theater this weekend. Check out one of the reviews, something I reviewed. Subscribe wherever you can subscribe so you get all the updates on the newest stuff. And I will see you next time. Until then, have a great week, everybody.